and welcome to another Bookish YouTube episode of the Bookish Hottie YouTube channel. I am your Bookish host in all things, Nakara, and I am so glad to be in the space and place with you guys today. So sorry, I've been super delayed. I went to Egypt and it was amazing. So I've been trying to prep for Egypt, get myself together, get my visa, get my things in order, right? Get my house in order, if one will. And it was honestly amazing. Definitely check out the photos I will be posting. It was truly the best. I could honestly skip, personal opinion, I could honestly skip Cairo. I went to the pyramids of Giza. It kind of felt like they try to make it like Disney World, like a commercialized Disney World, and it just really wasn't for me and my spirit and what I was really going for. But I loved going to Luxor. That was amazing. Got to see the temples, the Valley of the Kings. The sun just hit different. Was sailing on the Nile. It was truly awesome. Got fragrances, got gold, got oils, got incense, incense cones. It was papyrus, alabaster. It was 10 out of 10 trip. Definitely recommend people go to Egypt. I'm definitely going to go again. This time I'm going to go to definitely Luxor again, Aswan, and of course Alexandria, home of the books and the libraries. So I definitely plan to go back. And then also I just wrapped up my Pilates reformer and mat training. So that took up a lot of my time on top of having a full-time job, being in a relationship, being a daughter, being a sister, being all the things, being a friend. It was just a lot for the girl, but she's back in it. She's back to the masses, and I can't wait to let you guys know next episode the very exciting thing that I am working on for the podcast. And I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to expose too much because the meeting is this week and I'm super excited for you guys all to be in the know, in the space, and all the things. So this episode is going to be focused on actually our book club pick over at But Make It Books. And it was our book club pick 2 months ago, yes, because last month was Good Dirt. This month was Death of the Author. And in May, we're going to read Queen Spade. But I wanted to talk about Isaac's song. And we talked about it at our book club for But Make It Books. And I think it deserves its own episode because I'm trying to get all emotional. It was just very vulnerable and honest. I didn't know exactly what I was going to go into it with. I didn't know it was going to take me to the places it did. I even recommended it to my therapist. And I just wasn't expecting what I was going to get out of the book. So let me just read a little bit of the synopsis here so you guys know. The beloved author of Don't Cry for Me and Perfect Peace returns with a poignant, emotionally exuberant novel about a young queer black man finding his voice in 1980 Chicago. Isaac is at a crossroads in his young life. Growing up in Missouri, the son of a caustic, hard-driving father, he was conditioned to suppress his artistic pursuits and physical desires. But now in the late 80s of Chicago, sorry, I'm tired, y'all, Isaac has finally carved out a life of his own and built up the courage to seek out a community. Yet, just as he begins to embrace who he is, two social catalysts, the AIDS crisis and Rodney King's attack, collectively extinguish his hard-earned joy. At a therapist's encouragement, Isaac begins to write down his story. As he tapped into his creative energy, he commences a journey back to his family, his ancestral home in Arkansas, and the inherited trauma of the past. But a surprise discovery will either unlock the truth he's seeking or threaten to derail the life he's fought so hard to claim. So, if you're like me and you love a generational story, this is definitely for you. There's just a lot of points, as you can see, like from the side. I definitely had a lot of points and conversations that brought a lot to me that I just probably wasn't ready to maybe receive. Especially the therapist part. I had a hard time for a really long time in therapy, realizing that my parents are people too, and they're also living this life for the first time as well. And yes, at my big old 30-something-year-old age, that should be very evident. But when you look to your parents to be that guiding light for you, and you feel like maybe they haven't always been, and of course they support you, they love you, all those things. This book allowed me to give my parents grace, because my therapist, our couples therapist, always says this all the time, like, you're only dealing with the family origin story that you possess, and your family's only dealing with the origin story that they also grew up in. And that is a lot to take on, and a lot to understand when you're hurt. And you understand it, like your mind understands all of that. But sometimes your heart doesn't always acknowledge that, because you're also trying to mend yourself